Yo yo, how's it going? Let's get started here. Final Fantasy IX, Mass Effect, some Paper Mario, and Ogre Battle today. I think Donatello ended up looking pretty good. Oh, grats, Mega Man. Awesome. Did you have to wait in line for it? How'd you score it? Line. Yeah, when they shipped them out here, I like called them beforehand and they were like, yeah, there's like 10 people waiting outside, so. We only have 4. I said, well, thanks for being honest with me and not wasting my time. Nice. Hey, Cloud Reaver. It's going. Yeah, what was happening? Judgment Bolt. Oh, that sucks, man. I think there's just been setback after setback. Well, I hope to contribute to your sanity. That's messed up, Mega Man. I guess that makes sense, but... I guess it would be bad if, like, all the GameStop employees bought up all the supply, but... Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're one of 4 people that are in thesis mode right now, Cloud Reaver. You got One Eye is one of Andrea's friends from her undergrad. She's grinding it out. I think Matt's doing his as well. Dagger has life. Hey, Cappy. How's it going? Pretty sure this is the way we want to go. Bolton back to Medine, sorry. Oh, it sucks, man. I mean, good on you for finding the problem and going back and fixing it. It seems like there's this problem lately, at least in Andrea's field, where people will they'll just go ahead and publish, even if they know something's wrong, and then they'll get a bunch of citations for it, and then they'll post a follow-up correction quietly. But at some point, if you're going to be working on it forever and keep having to go back and redo stuff, you wonder, why don't I just do that, you know? That's why I think it's a system that's flawed, not individuals. So you're basically having to repeat all their tests, Cloud? Oh, Kami, you're lucky Andrea's not in here. So what happened there, the experiment was called Opera. It was a neutrino, not a photon, but you get the general idea. They were very cautious. They said, hey, we did this experiment, and this is what it looks like happened. Clearly that can't be right. Clearly we're misinterpreting this, but we've done all of our testing and our cross-checks, and it doesn't seem like we figured out what the problem is. We don't know what's causing it. And then the media ran with it. Like Time ran an article called "Einstein is Wrong." It was messed up. There are a lot of people who provoke the media into doing that, but I think that Opera did a good job, and they ended up getting crucified for trying to be careful with their wording at the end of the day. But yes, that's exactly the problem. Jumping the gun, just publishing something and then quietly fixing it later. And there's still people to this day who think that, you know, neutrinos are traveling faster than light and that Einstein was wrong, as if that's something that we need to freak out about anyway. Like that's a fundamental pillar of science, that we're overwriting old things, learning new things. Yeah, Opera, I think, did a great job with that. They were model scientists. It was the media that blew the whole thing up, and they got crucified for it at the end of the day. Yeah. There's a really, I'd say, bad, rocky relationship between science and the media. Looks like Cloud Reaver hasn't even taken it to that point, though. They're just like keep finding problems and having to do they're doing the QA testing for this other university. Hey D-Rock, how's it going? I think you'd say most scientists do, but again, it's perception media versus science. What's the XKCD article about the green jelly beans? If I can find it. Actually, more about trials factors, but yeah, that sounds like it's just bad engineering. It sounds like what I used to do at Chase when we tested the website. We had a team whose job it was to do the QA testing, and then we were supposed to do the user acceptance testing, which the difference is that user acceptance isn't supposed to be very technical. Like QA is supposed to find all the problems with it, and then when they're done, they pass it to us in UAT, and we make sure that it's acceptable from a user perspective, and we really shouldn't find any bugs or defects, except maybe like design problems. But more often than not, QA would 100% pass all of their test scripts, and it would get to us, and we would basically repeat QA, and then also do the UAT testing on top of it. Eidolon wall. Okay. Get that chest though. Cool. I like vests. I like surviving. Cloud Reaver, it always blows my mind how y'all in academia function like wearing every hat. Because right, in the business world, you gotta have someone who's a project manager, you gotta have someone who's like a testing lead. Like all these people fill these different roles, and that's their entire job. So the fact that like in academia, like doing the project management and the program management and the testing all just follows under the umbrella of like, you know, postdoc or grad student or tenured professor. Like there's not a position in place for that kind of a thing. Heal us. Guessing that means there's about to be a boss fight. Hey Matt. Alright, Kami. Working at Chase, I worked with maybe, so every project had a project manager, and if I worked with 100 project managers, I probably worked with 5 really good, useful project managers where I felt like the project wouldn't have succeeded without them. Cloud Reaver, you pay a grad student to do it just enough, right? Wink, wink. Yeah. Again, it's a broken system. I don't think there's like, you know, evil men in smoke-filled rooms twirling their mustaches. More money would certainly help. In a lot of fields like Astro, like it has to be public funding. I mean, it has massive payoff on investment, but not to the not directly to the investor. So we have to fund it publicly. And people are dumb. It's hard to get them to like think ahead to next week, let alone like 30 years from now. That's probably smart of Lani. Vivi's not tricky. Yeah, to a point though. But like once you finish the classes, I feel like there's like a window where the whole thing makes sense when you're also TAing for them at the same time. So working for them and getting classes and collecting a small stipend. I'm talking about like grad students that I've been on for like 7, 8 years by no fault of their own. Yeah. Like I was saying. Cloud Reaver, weren't you in a situation where you like started with one advisor and then you were moving along, everything was great, and then, oops, sorry, we ran out of funding, you're gonna have to find a different advisor and start over, right? The problem is the disparity in how professors use their grad students. You have people like Andrea who was fortunate enough to have advisors where she could go in at like 9 or 10 and come home at like 4 or 5 and get plenty of work done and be able to finish her thesis in a reasonable period of time. You know, and there's other people who just, they have a professor that expects them to be in until midnight every night. And it's almost a dice roll. You don't know who you're going to get. Or like if you try to go into it based on like what you want to do as opposed to who you want to work with, you might get burned. Maybe what you want to do is with a really shitty person who's not going to treat you right. Good God, Cloud. Are you planning the postdoc, or are you just going to take the PhD and go into industry? Yeah. So the kind of stuff that Ryan's running into, Matt, I don't think could have possibly been predicted. Is what I was looking for. There's a gigantic luck component. Congratulations. More power to you, man. Andrea's having, I was calling it DODE, Delayed Onset Academic Dread. Yeah. Where everything went really, really well from her from undergrad through like the end of grad school. She rolled all 20s. Now all of a sudden she's starting to see the pyramid scheme problem. That's good that they're doing that. I think the model's gonna have to change. There's this like feeling in academia that everyone needs to be on this tenure track professor job, and once you drop out of that, when you leave academia, oh, you're dead to them. Like, no, we need people to go into industry. There's not enough jobs. If there were, 1,000 equally qualified, perfect people, there's only 50 jobs. So 950 people are gonna get screwed just by random chance. Yeah. I think it's easy to blame the baby students with hindsight, too. Like they need a informed infrastructure to tell them how hard it's actually going to be, and not parrot the, oh yeah, everyone can get tenure. Oh man, we're about to do a bid for what we're naming Amarant here. There's not a lot of people in chat, so take your shot. Put it up here, one sec. Well, it's like Mega Man. It's like saying to a classroom of 40 kids, "You can all be president one day." It's like, no, some of you can be like, physically speaking. Like, if a president can be president for 4 years, and there's 40 kids in the class, there's 160 years if each of them were to be president. So it's physically impossible for all of them to be president. One of them could be president. Some of them have the potential to be president. But they can't all be president. That's a problem that goes back into elementary school. Like, we're not telling kids that it's okay to go be a plumber, or an electrician, or do something that's at a trade school. There's this focus on, no, you've got to do this. This is the correct path to follow, and you should be ashamed if you don't. A Sly Eagle doesn't kill it when. You can throw your bid behind somebody else. Usually my rule is don't bid if you haven't won one before, but I think everyone, except maybe Cloud Reaver, if you have an idea for what to name the red-headed guy, Amarant. Flaming Mo. Very good. Soulless. Because he's a ginger. Cloud Reaver, since you're the only one in chat who hasn't named somebody yet. I don't know, I think, Cappy, if you're around, you haven't named somebody either. You guys can overrule if you want, if you have an idea in mind. Let's see. Very good. Looks like it's going to be soulless. Yeah, add your power to Matt's. Eiko and Mog are the same age. What's up with that? Okay. See if I can fit it. Said I'm gonna get to use those points quite a bit more once we get bigger and can do stuff like giveaways and raffles and things like that. Board them up. It's valuable for me to establish the system now though, because I can track it early. I can see what works and doesn't work. Could have sworn that you like name Amarant when you leave the town there. Let me go back real quick. Cool. I'll figure it out, Matt. Potato racism. Later, Matt. What's up, Mog? I think it's like the ribbon, like Final Fantasy ribbon. Queen is an interesting character. I think that's going to take it. I'll just go ahead and close it. I think we actually get to name him for a little bit. Hmm. We're gonna go to a place called Ibsen's Castle later in this game. Are you serious? 8 years? You haven't even published like a hey, shit's not working paper? You're not whining, man. That friggin' sucks. It's a harsh reality. It's gonna be rad when you get out, man. Every single person I've talked to who's gotten academia is so happy. Hmm. Eiko? Remember the very opening cutscene of this game was like Garnet, basically in this tempest out at sea. Oh, cutscene if you're alt tabbed. Pretty graphics. And we saw a lot of this in the opening cutscene of the game. Can it wait, Shepard? Some calibrations. Garnet just passed out. So does Vivi sleep? Does he eat? We know that he pees. We had that scene earlier where him and like Zidane were broing out. Guess I don't need to know all the gory details of the Black Mages, but yeah, that makes sense. I like savvy characters. It drives Andrea crazy when like something in the plot is really obvious and the characters haven't picked up on it. It happens a lot in Dragon Quest VIII, where it's like, you know, you're chasing this gesture, Dual Magus, for most of the game, and you'll go into a town and like all the townsfolk will be like, yeah, this guy was mysteriously murdered, huh? There was a gesture here too, you know. I wonder if they're related, and it takes the party like maybe an hour after you talk to that NPC to figure out the same thing. Dagger's pretty savvy. I was like, oh, we both have summon magic. I don't remember what I was doing before I was 6. I probably came from here. Eidolon wall is pretty cool. That's a Tomos. I'm not sure. The one looks kind of like Red 13. I don't know if that's an actual summon from this game or not. Let's see, Bahamut, I think. Maybe Phoenix? What's the tall monster looking one on the bottom left? Could be Kieran, yeah. Have we seen very much Kieran? Kieran's in FF6, right? So I've seen him as a monster in some games. It's an actual, like, Japanese mythological creature. Yeah, if what you're doing is calibration, just get Garrus online. That's all he does. Motherfucker just calibrates constantly. So as I'm watching this, I'm wondering, like, it's clear that this Final Fantasy VII remake they're doing is going to do a fully 3D environment instead of having pre-rendered backgrounds. It makes me wonder, like, how much are they going to change it? You watch that trailer and, like, I don't know, their vision of Midgar is very different from what the pre-rendered backgrounds imply. Is that trailer supposed to be, like, in the future? Or it's actually supposed to be of the game at the time? Oh, Cloud! I know exactly what you're talking about! Once you're used to Garrus... Yeah, he does... What else? He's on Castle. I think I've seen him on there. It weirds me out when, like, voice actors do live acting. Don't do that, man. Freaking me out. Maybe they'll tone them down a bit, Mega Man. Castle's really good. Castle has a weak start, but like once you just buy the premise, then it's enjoyable. Yes, he is. Keith David's in everything, though. He's the best. He's also a Flame King on Adventure Time. Yeah, Cloud Reaver, I haven't watched the later seasons. I did when I watched those first couple, I was like, I don't know, man, this seems like a pretty thin premise. And then I started to enjoy it after a while. Oh wait, are you talking about Community or Castle? Community I thought died when Dan Harmon left. And then he came back, but then it didn't have, like, Troy anymore. It's pretty important. I can do without Pierce, but Troy was, like, a good percentage of my laughs on that show. So, Andrea, he says, call me what you will, so Andrea named him What She Will. Okay, we're not going to have space to fill the full name, so we'll see how we can make this work. So I don't think so. We can just barely get flaming in there, so do Flamo. That's probably as good as I'm gonna get. I have this problem with TV. I feel like more TV shows need to end. They need to be written with an ending in mind. It's a shame that a lot of them start off really, really strong and then just get stretched thinner and thinner and thinner until they can't stand on their own two legs again. That's why I like Breaking Bad so much. The Flaming Flamo. Here we are at the end of Disc 2. I think there's like 2 more scenes in Disc 2, and we're finally able to change our party members out. 2 white mages is excessive, so I'll bring in Flamo. Like, House had this problem too. House is an outstanding show. It's basically Sherlock Holmes. Right down to living on like 221 Baker Street. And it just got weaker and weaker. Instead of going out with a bang, it died with a gasp. But he's gonna get counter no matter what. I'd like to get him chakra before I switch to something else. And get counter faster. Kinda want return magic. I could get chakra from that. I gotta get ability up first. That's #1 priority. Get him triple counter speed. Yeah, Mega Man, you're not the first person to recommend that to me, which is evidence that I really should watch it. It sounds really cool. Andrew and I will be looking for a new show. We just started The Wire for the first time, so we'll have to look for something new after that. I'm never going to use Fleagill, maybe High Tide. Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're gonna do that one. It's Andy Samberg, right? Lonely Island guy. Yeah, you have. I've got that on the list. It's not on our Netflix though. Actually, the last time we went to put something on and went with The Wire, I tried finding Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's not on Amazon or Netflix in the US, so I'd have to resort to the high seas to get it. Yeah, I've heard that's what makes it good, that it's not just straight comedy. Eureka's on Netflix? That makes it easier to watch next. I do everything I can to throw money. Cool. Hey, Ninja Happenings, welcome. There's like one more scene and then we're on disc 3 already. Remember, right, this game packs quite a lot into disc 3, though. But it is like the others in the series, where the final disc is essentially the final dungeon, final boss, and all of the cutscenes. Yeah. Whatever the penultimate disc is tends to be pretty huge. Disc 2 in Final Fantasy VII is pretty great. Hey Joe man, how's it going, dude? See if I can get a heal off on this fight. Oh, awesome. Congratulations, Joe, man. That's really great to hear. I know that was a point of uncertainty for you for a while. Congratulations. Do you have to work in Columbus? Cool. Congratulations. They must possess incredible powers to accomplish such a feat. Eh. We're like basically 3 children. It's a cool song here. Oh, awesome, Joe man. And it's not temporary, right? Temporary jobs are stressful. I started at Chase as a temporary employee. I managed to get out of it, but it's, easier said than done most of the time. I was hoping I was going to get to some Chocobo Hot and Cold today, but I think that's going to be next session with FF9 tomorrow. And happy with what we got. I'm thinking about it though. Let me actually equip some of his abilities, huh? Ability up. Counter. Maybe return magic. Do we have anything on his cat's claws yet? Add status would be excessive. And how about bright eyes? Why not? Oh, you dodged a bullet, man. I didn't know it was Chase. That's where I used to work before I got let go for working from California. When they fired everybody who was working remotely. Yeah, no, even if you had like worked yourself to a permanent position at Chase, like they're too big. And they have an atrocious like raise policy. Like I started in the call center and ended up working in testing. And a lot of the people who are doing the same job as me were making like 6 figures, but because they base your wages on whatever your previous job was, like I started out at like $11 an hour working in the call center. So the money I was making as a test lead was based on my call center wage that I started with. They didn't bump me up to what other people were making in the same job. You dodged a bullet, man. What are you doing at this job that you actually wanted that you just got the call for? Yeah. God, it's so messed up that we even have to worry about that. Kami, would you believe that this is a serious thing? As a Canadian who doesn't have to worry about this problem. Even with Obamacare, it's still a big deal. It's like $200 an individual, which is a lot of money. I know that my sister's in the same boat. She's a cosmetologist, so she's self-employed, and she has to make the decision: do I bother getting insurance? Fire's pretty good. Attack. Cool. That sounds way better, Joe Man. If I go back in industry, you know, if the Switch thing doesn't work out, it's definitely going to be into a smaller company. I don't want to work for a mega corporation ever again. Oh, that's really cool, dude. Awesome. Yeah, like finding a job that can actually cover you. Oh man, Kami, I wish. Oh, awesome, Jim. I didn't know that they came back to talk to you again. Cool. Yeah, way to go, not like burning that bridge. $4 for your meds, damn. I have a friend who has fallen on hard times. I won't go into a lot of detail at it, but anyway, he needs to see a doctor, and he can't afford it because he makes minimum wage and he works 2 jobs. And if he wanted to go to the doctor without insurance, he would have to be paying $150 just for the visit, not even with the prescription, the cost of prescription on top of it. It's so messed up. You call it a first world country. Yeah, for sure, man. You gotta be indefatigable. Whatever. Like you actually have a plan. I like how Amarant is kind of the character that's like what Qbert was originally intended to be on Futurama, where he's like pointing out the basic silliness of the plot. He's the one pragmatist. Everyone else is like, I'm a fantasy hero. Shit gets done. I go from continent to continent fighting mist beasts and win. And he's like, really? Hey, Mumbin, how's it going? Welcome. Nice. Rally ho! How OG is your Rally ho game? You date back to Final Fantasy III for the NES? I think we decided that was the first one, right? With dwarves that say Rally ho, and then it's in 4. There's no dwarves in 5 or 6. Or 7 or 8. Rally ho comes back with 9. Hey, Reaper Cheap. Good to see you again. Ooh, there's someone more dangerous than Kuja that we're foreshadowing. Who could that be? Yeah, Kuja is, I don't know. He's an interesting character. Kuja is a man. He embodies the kind of androgynous male beauty ideal in Japan. Which I don't know if that's still the ideal or if that was just a fashion trend. This is not my first time playing. I played 9 quite a few times. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasies. But trying to keep spoilers out of my first playthrough on stream, because there are some people in chat who are checking it out for the first time. So I'd keep it light. If it's something that's already happened in the game, go for it. And they really give you chances to back out of that. Yeah, go for it, Reap It Cheap. You just ask for permission, that's all that I ask. Ask before you link. You're good. I would actually like to see that. Final Fantasy IX has famously the worst strategy guide of all time. You can whisper them to somebody. Oh, you're fine, Joe, man. No worries. I just want to make that the precedent, right? So that it's easier for me if someone posts a link that's bad for... Holy shit. The quest gets moved forward when you enter the crystal world? Are you serious? And with death guys? Yeah, play online. The guide was like, if you want to see what you actually need to do, even though we could have easily printed it here, go to playonline.com. It was the last Brady game strategy guide I ever bought, or any strategy guide I ever bought. Wow, that's crazy, Reaper Jeep. Thanks for sharing that. I'm probably not going to do it on this playthrough. I can try to. There's 17 steps to it. That seems like a lot of steps for, what is it, a protect ring? Yeah, right, Joe, man. That was the thing. I didn't have stable internet at the time. Now, it got to a point, I don't know if they still push strategy guides at GameStop or if they like moved to pre-ordering or something. For the longest time, they're like, you want strategy guides? Like, dude, I've got game FAQs. No. Good. Yeah, Reap It Cheap. I know that because of Play Online. I remember doing it the first time, because it's like, you'll get a surprise. I'm like, oh, what if the surprise is important? Yeah, if you say Queen Brahne, that is the person you're trying to kidnap, instead of Princess Garnet 64 times or 63 times or something, Ruby busts in the room. Yeah. Really goofy. But Play Online made it seem like it was important. So, like, my first playthrough, I'm all hyped to play this game for the first time, but I'm sitting here denying Baku, like, 64 times or however many times it requires. Fortunately, it's in the past. I don't even know if do they actually make like published strategy guides for games anymore? When's the last time I went to a GameStop? I've been buying everything digitally, or if not digitally, like just having it delivered via Amazon Prime for a while. I'm sure it's DCOM now, right? Yeah, Play Online was used for Final Fantasy 11. That's right. I used the same account. Yeah. It was also the service you went to like, it was like their version of Mog Station. Like, my old PlayOnline account I set up in order to use my Final Fantasy IX strategy guide is the same account that I signed in with. It got converted over for me to play Final Fantasy 14. That's weird. Who's paying for that, you know? What's the market? It's like AOL, right? I've heard this thing that AOL has like millions of subscribers, and it's theorized that most of them are people who just never unsubscribe, and like older people who don't know that they don't need it to get on the internet, that they have internet through Time Warner or Comcast or somebody else. Well said, Kuja. Oh, that's a good one, Reaper Cheap. Have you... Which ones haven't you played then, since then? Probably be the easier way to ask that question. Oh man, 98 game... Can you... Is there an easy way to see the age of your Game FAQs account? I say FAQs, I know a lot of people say game facts. That was a long time ago. Mistodons, they might be undead? We can find out. There's a message in here from 2011 when I was trading a Celebi with somebody, apparently. Yeah, I'm not seeing where it is on my profile that says when I signed up. I'll look for it later. Unless if you, like, give me some specific links to click. You're not missing anything 11. Yeah, I wouldn't be... I play 14 if you like MMOs. I feel like if you like MMOs and Final Fantasy, then you ought to play Final Fantasy 14. Ought being like the strongest English imperative. But if you don't like MMOs, then don't play it. It's not going to convert you. But no, 3, 4, and 5 are all very good. 13 I didn't play more than a couple hours. If you do 3, you should play it on the DS. The DS remake is the definitive version, I would say. If you play 4, I haven't played the DS remake, but the Super Nintendo version is extremely strong. It's one of the favorites in Japan. I think Japan loves 4 and 10 most, last I heard. Yeah. I'm only 2003 here, Kami. Not as OG. Oh, I didn't have stable internet until like 2000, so. I think I made an account to participate in the forums or something. Yeah, I finally found it. Man, my AOL username is still on there. AIM. Yeah. Awesome, Joe, man. Have you been streaming it? I might have to pop in and check it out. Baron helmet is basically Cecil's Dark Knight helmet. Yeah, I've got a super old address on there too. In Columbus, Ohio suburbs. Hey, Sneakers, how's it going, man? As always, a delight to see you. Like, we went to all that trouble to, like, decide who we wanted in our party, and then we didn't get to use who we wanted. Flamo just learned something. By Flamo, I mean Amarant. Something that wasn't important. Now we can switch this one. Yeah, I kind of want him to get antibody, actually. Yeah, check it out. So, like, 22 in Chakra, the same number of ability points, got a 66 in counter because we have it on the Cat's Claw, the Ritual Head, and the Power Belt. That might be unnecessary. I think every weapon that Amarant gets teaches counter, but whatever. Flamo. I forgot that he introduces himself, Matt, as the Flaming Amarant, so he's like, I'm the Flaming Flamo. I could have just called him Mo, but it works. Flamo is also a character in Adventure Time bonus. Now plug away, man. It's cool. Try to host more. I had that cool auto host feature that came with Deepbot, but apparently that was like a trial thing that he has this system set up where you have to pay a $10 monthly subscription to get some of their VIP features like auto hosting, and it's really just an arbitrary content switch that he turns on or off. It's not like anything he's having to do on his end to make it happen. I sent an email to him. I was like, hey, is there any way I can like give you a one-time payment for this Deepbot thing and not have to pay you monthly? Because I can't, as a new streamer, I can't really justify $10 a month for a feature like that. Flaming Flamo. I'm a Simpsons nerd, but I'm so behind on Simpsons. Let's see, what's the last season that I can remember? I can probably base it on Treehouse of Horror episodes. Let me see. I can tell you the last one I remember, and then deduce from there. Nice, Matt. Yeah, it's one of those shows that's like, Futurama is probably the one that should go on for such a long time. Not because Futurama is necessarily the better show, but just like the premise is less easily stretched. If your premise is, hey, you're in the future and you have effectively unlimited technology and like unlimited places to go, you know, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can make an episode about anything. But with The Simpsons, it's like, okay, it's a suburban family. I think we've tapped out every possible Simpsons storyline. Or even if we haven't tapped them all out, it seems like it's much easier to tap that out than it is like a Futurama story. No. They look like Sin Spawn and Lavos Spawn. Spiky monster dudes. I also personally prefer Futurama. Alright, Leviathan. We just fought Leviathan in Final Fantasy XIV last night. If you check out the video, it's quite cool. Yeah, pretty sure I almost always use Amarant, Matt. I like him too. He has cool, like, return magic is very strong. I like Chakra is helpful if you have a white mage in your party. You don't have to waste so many ethers. Yeah. Futurama has 4 finales, I think. There's the Devil's Hands or Idle Playthings. There's the 4 movies. The ending of the 4th one is an ending finale. There's the Bender is Omniscient episode was a season finale, and then there's the last one. And until Netflix picks it up. Talking to John DiMaggio, the guy who voices Bender, and he said that he would, like, his dream would be to just do Futurama until he dies. I can picture that in my head perfectly, Joe Mam, and I won't try to reproduce it audibly on stream. Very good, Matt. How much work was it, would you say, compared to, like, the Leviathan nonsense? Favorite episode of Futurama? You're asking a particularly well-schooled person, not necessarily by choice. My wife Andrea cannot sleep at night without some kind of ambient sound in the background, and she's chosen that her ambient sound be Futurama on Netflix on repeat. We get to the end of the 10 seasons and we start them over again, and she falls asleep in like the first 10 minutes, but I can't sleep while it's on, and I also can't turn it off. Oh, awesome cutscene, by the way. I'll shut up and finish talking after this. You're alt tab, you should check this out. I like this Bahamut design with no eyes. Graphics. I know a lot of people hate it. So it's not my favorite, but I really like the, it's one of the later seasons, one of the last ones. It's, the, like, National Geographic, like, Morgan Freeman parody episode where they're, like, salmon. Just the narration in those episodes cracks me up. Andrew and I quote it all the time. And so the endless circle of life comes to an end, meaningless and grim. Why did they live? Why did they die? No reason. You're good, Joe, man. Spoiler alert, there's Bahamut. "20 million years of evolution snuffed out. For in the end, nature is horrific and teaches us nothing." What FF hasn't had a Bahamut? I don't remember 2 well enough. Was Bahamut in 1? I don't think so. Maybe as like a random dragon enemy, but not like a important feature of the game. He's in 4. He's important in 4. He's in 5. He's important in 5. Summon in 6, one of the espers. He's in 7, a lot. There's almost too much Bahamut in 7. It's like, whoa, chill out. That's right. Reaper Cheap, I want to play every awesome game that's ever been made at least once on stream. And I feel safe saying that because I think that there's so many awesome games right now that you can't possibly play them all in one lifetime. That even discounts like upcoming games that are going to be awesome. Hopefully that's true. That's the source of my job security if this stream thing works out. Yeah, that's a cool mission. That's the underwater reactor with Zell. Really is important in 9. Oh man, Joe man, Rolandberry Fields giving me PTSD from fighting crawlers. More cutscenes, by the way, if you want to tab in. That sounds. I think you're right, Mega Man. Yeah. Oh, you are right. I'm not gonna doubt you. But that sounds familiar now. I remember that. He goes way back. Nothing in FF2. Interesting. Sneakers. No. It might live on Netflix. The whole team wants to do it. They did Fox and then Comedy Central. Well, Fox and then movies and then Comedy Central. And now they're dead again. So if it were to come back, it would be on Netflix. You're good, Reaper Cheap. No, I have a if you scroll down under the stream, there's a section for games under upcoming games. There's a link you can click. It's a Reddit thread where you can post suggestions. Just post as many as you want. Yeah, I hope so too. God, Pit Fighter is pretty bad, Joe man. I've played that game. Thank you, Matt. It's tough with the stream delay. That is because Hironobu Sakaguchi and his buddies are a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons nerds, and Bahamut's been featured in D&D for a really long time as like the god of the good dragons. He's also a Sumerian thing, but a lot of FF1 is more liberally D&D inspired. It's kind of become its own thing since then. No more Vancian magic. Yeah, I agree, Sneakers. Simpsons in its prime is outstanding, though. Like, particularly when like Conan O'Brien was on the writing team, like seasons 4, 5, and 6, that era, stuff was outstanding. Like seasons 8, 9, and 10, Futurama can be a little weak sometimes, depending on the episode. I think my all-time favorite episode of The Simpsons is the Hank Scorpio episode where they move away and Homer works for a supervillain. Yeah, they can do good episodes. Actually, I like the Family Guy Simpsons crossover. It's like if you're gonna do that, they did it as well as they could have. Yes, Reaper Jeep, I'll give you a link. Sorry. On that, I can go to commenting and just add a comment. You might have to make an account, but you can make a top level comment as each game that you want, and then people can vote them up or vote them down. Yeah, Matt. I never saw the Simpsons movie. I heard it was pretty good though. Alright, so Braun became her old self. We've only ever seen her be an evil, horrid monster bitch, but there at the very end, she came around. I think we're going to end up swapping discs and then saving. We only got 9 minutes left. I might just transition right into Paper Mario once we get to the disc swap. Gotcha. Most of what I know about the Simpsons movie is that Futurama jokes about it. Dude, don't give me Sandoria PTSD. That was my home nation, so I would just sit there at the auction house, hearing it forever. None of you have played Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 11 before, excuse me. Googled the Sandoria theme and imagine hearing that every day because it's an MMO, so you log in every day to check the auction house and stuff, right? Hours on end. Tomorrow is. What am I subbing out? Tomorrow's Ogre Battle, Paper Mario, Mass Effect 2, yeah, Smash 4 is subbing in for 9, but if you look at, I have a link now in my schedule to a tentative forecast of the coming weeks. Final Fantasy 9 is going to get a much longer block. Next week it's going to get a 1 2 hour block, and the following week it's going to get a 3 hour block. So that should get us pretty far along. I'm sure at least one of those blocks, most of it's going to be spent doing Chocobo Hot and Cold though. Their cutscene, end of disc cutscene, if you want to tab in. Oh, we'll be getting everything. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to get to another save point in 7 minutes. I will take this time away from Final Fantasy 9. It's actually only fair. Final Fantasy 9 went over by like almost 20 minutes less time in the Iifa tree, so make up for it. You'll see the cool switch to disc 3 screen though. Change to disc 3. Look at all this crazy crap. Hints of what's to come. Let me go boot up Paper Mario and switch stuff over. I'll be right back. Show Junior Shabadoo. Shabadoo shows up in Futurama too. That's what Fry calls the professor's dad. I'll be right back.